Post-debate snap polls show a surge for Carly Fiorina, but Trump is still crushing everybody. He's huge, I tell you, huge. I'm John Phillips, and this is Pole Position. The day after the second GOP presidential debate, the consensus among pundits seemed to be that Carly Fiorina won. But online instant polls tell a much different story. For example, a poll hosted by the Drudge Report, which had more than 600,000 responses, said that Donald Trump was the clear winner with 53%. Carly Fiorina was a distant second with 21%, and everybody else, they weren't even in the room. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz got 6%, Ben Carson, Rand Paul 4%, Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, Mike Huckabee, John Kasich, and Scott Walker were barely alive with 1% each. I guess that's the 1% you definitely don't want to be in. Now, this wasn't a scientific poll, but it's a great snapshot of what conservative voters are thinking. Looking at a CBS News New York Times poll released the day before the debate gives us a sense of how fast things can change. In that poll, Trump was on top, but with only 27%, followed very closely by Dr. Ben Carson with 23%. Jeb Bush comes in third, but he only gets 6%, as do Marco Rubio and Mike Huckabee. Ted Cruz has 5%, Carly Fiorina is barely a blip at 4%, Rand Paul, John Kasich take 3%, Scott Walker gets 2%, Chris Christie, Rick Santorum get 1%, and Bobby Jindal and Lindsey Graham get Zippola. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton still on top with 47%. Bernie Sanders gets a healthy 27%. Joe Biden still officially, I throw that in air quotes, not in the race, gets 15%, and nobody else matters. Here's what's interesting. The GOP debate featured a very anti-Trump slant. We had Hugh Hewitt, who was one of the men asking questions at the debate, who got into a tiff with Donald Trump on his radio show earlier in the week. Jake Tapper let everybody know that he was going after Donald or was trying to instigate other candidates into going after Donald. Yet Donald did very well in the post-debate poll, specifically Drudge, which is one of the ones that I always look at after GOP debates. That's the big website that Republicans still look at more often than not. So we'll find out what happens when the scientific polls are done. But as of now, that's the position of the polls. Now it's time to make your opinion known. Who's going to come out on top in the post-debate polls? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm John Phillips for Pole Position. Thanks so much for watching.